Dr. Patrick Amo, the Acting Director for Health in the Ministry of Health. Professor Nelly Mugo, Principal Clinical Research Scientist at Center for Clinical Research. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Mkosawa? I'm happy to see you all. Karibuni sana to our press club. Our thought leadership series today focuses on cervical cancer and HPV vaccine, a topic that I hold so dear, first as a woman, a mom, and as a journalist that has interacted firsthand with women that have been affected by cervical cancer. Colleagues, as journalists, we often find ourselves in the role of preachers of the gospel, engaging in conversations and disseminating information that encourages individuals to prioritize their well-being. Through our stories and advocacy, we have the power to inspire action, promote preventive measures, and ultimately save lives. But how often do we prioritize our health? Let's do a random survey. How many of us have ever done a pap smear? I'm talking to women here. Or HPV tests. I can count the hands, like we are very few, less than 10. Yeah? That tells you something. How many of us do this test annually, or at least once every 2 years? Yeah? Now we have 3 women in the room. How many of us have taken the HPV jab? I think I'm the only one in the room. How many of us have taken our daughters for the HPV vaccine? How many? 5. 5 of us. What does that tell us? And we talk about it every day. We host people, we host experts every day. But back home, we are not doing it. This survey was not just for women. Men in the house. How many of us encourage our spouses to prioritize this? How many of you have ever told your wife or your sister or your daughter or your mom to go for a pap smear? Only one man in the room. 2. How many of you have taken your daughters for the jab? Men. Men. Only one man in the room. Yeah? What's happening? Why are we not doing it? Do we prioritize our work over our health? Or is it that we don't have time to do it? Yeah, that's food for thought. I'm reminded of a personal journey that deeply resonates with the theme for today's discussion. Last year, during the Cervical Cancer Awareness Month, a dear colleague and friend joined me in taking a proactive step towards the cervical health. We underwent HPV tests, followed by pap smears, and diligently completed the 3 doses of HPV vaccine. I also made sure to extend this protection to my daughter, ensuring she received the vaccine as well. I must confess, like many other women or moms, I initially harbored a hesitation. However, experiencing the process firsthand, witnessing the positive impact and feeling a sense of responsibility as a preacher of the gospel transformed my perspective. I can now stand before you today, not just a journalist, but also as someone who has embraced this preventive measure with pride, confidence, and an informed perspective. Recently, a colleague reached out seeking advice on whether to vaccinate her 9-year-old daughter. Without hesitation, I encouraged her to proceed, drawing from my own experience and the reassurance that there is indeed nothing to fear, but more to gain from these vaccines. I urge each one of us, my esteemed colleagues, to prioritize our health by undergoing necessary medical tests and considering vaccination, especially for our daughters. It is heartening to note that these vaccines are readily available in the government hospitals, free of charge, making them accessible to all. While my family opted for a private hospital for convenience, I emphasize that cost should never be a barrier to safeguarding our well-being. Together, let us come together and continue to preach, not just through words, but also through actions that promote health, empower communities, and contribute to a healthier, more informed society. Lest we forget, I would like to ask our experts today, is there a jab similar to the HPV vaccine for men? Because we hear they are the carriers of the virus. It's the same vaccine. Maybe you will tell us more when you come here. Do they have tests similar to the tests that we go as women? Like pap smear, they go for tests here and there. You talk about it. Asante sana. And I thank you all for your attention and look forward to an insightful and impactful discussion today. Asante sana.